Hi, this is a video response for OakTreeVibrations. That is Jen here on YouTube. And she is having a very fun challenge which ends in June. And I will put the link to her YouTube video in the down bar below. But basically this is a fairy challenge because Fairy Day is in June. And you had to have a couple of items that she requested in your project. First of all, there has to be a fairy in it. You have to use glitter, or stickles or something like that. You had to have 2 natural elements. You have to have the color green and use at least 1 piece of lace. But check out her video for the official rules, because I don't want to make sure I don't say something wrong. But anyway, this is for the Fairy Day challenge. And so some of the things that I used in my project, this piece of lace was used. This trim, which is like a pleated trim, it's polka dotted and it's like a gold mustard color. I used these 2 colors of perfect pearls, and let me see, the pink one is rouge, and then the yellow one is gold. And I'm sorry for the lighting, I tried to make it as best as I could. The other thing I used was this piece of, it's actually potpourri, but it's got little tiny, looks like pine cones on it. I also have some moss in here and some little leaves. I raided my potpourri jar that's in my bedroom and used some of the natural elements that were in there, because the potpourri is all natural stuff. So not only does the project look cute, but it smells good too. I also use these little stamens from the French General pack. It comes with other elements, but I use these in the project. Here is the stamp that I used. This is a Tiddly ink stamp, and it's called Everyday Magic, and you can see she's a fairy, and I used both the saying here and the image, as well as the stars. And I also used my Copic markers. I colored the stamp image with my red Copics, and you can see the ones here that I used. Look at that, RV69's in there. Anyway, she's a redhead, so I colored with the red color. The green that is a requirement for the challenge is in her dress, and these are the markers that I used for the dress. And I colored some butterflies as well. And this may not be coming through very well. That's B05. So I used that for the butterflies. I also colored her wings, and I believe I used the BG family for that. So the last thing I have is also the Spica pen. I used the actually it wasn't the green, it was this clear one. I used the clear for the glitter accents. So those are the markers that I use. I also use some Memento ink in the Tuxedo Black, as well as brush corduroy for some edging that I did. Okay, so let me show you the project, and I'm just going to move this clipboard and put it behind the project because you need to be able to see it pretty well. Okay, and this is, I apologize if the lighting is bad, but this is the best that I could do, and let me see if it will focus on my hand, because I was messing around with it before. So let me see. It's not that great. Move closer when all else fails. Okay, so what I did was I created a fairy. And there's the fairy. I colored her, and maybe I'll just have to bring the project closer. The reason it's so kind of hazy is because the glass itself, this is a mason jar, and the glass itself is kind of like this wavy, you know, kind of weird color, or not color, but translucency. So that's what you're seeing. And if I bring it closer, maybe that's better. Okay, so you can see here, there's the fairy. I also cut a tree shape out with my Simon Says Stamp die cut. I think it's Simon Says Stamp. And you can see the green in the fairy. I colored the wings. And I also that's where I use the perfect pearls up here in her hair. There's like a little rose with some leaves in it. And so she's in the bottle. And it's actually upside down. So the lid is actually on the bottom. And I put some little, some moss down at the bottom of the jar. And some of those little pine cones as well are down in there. And it's kind of hard to see, but I'll try and tilt it so you can see some of the stuff. So down in here, here's those little stamens that I had. I just used them like they were little grass. And you can see the moss down in there. It's like little curly pieces. And there's little pine cones down in there. So that's the inside of the jar. What I did was I took these little pine cones here. If you can see, they're on the outside and the inside. So they're hanging, they're stuck to the jar on the inside as well as on the outside to make it more of a 3D effect. So like it's kind of growing through the jar. And so this right here is a butterfly that I created, and it's hard to see it, but there we go. That's probably the best I'm going to get. It's made from clear acetate. I punched it out with my Martha Stewart punch, and the punch has 3 butterflies on it, and this is the bigger of the 3. And then I colored it with my Copic marker and outlined it with the black and drew some little lines in it like a butterfly would have. So that's one of the butterflies that I put in here. And then all of this at the top is, again, it's potpourri that I just stuck down with those little sticky glue dots. I found that the hot glue was not working as well to the glass, so those glue dots are holding them down to the glass, and then each piece is kind of glued to each other with some hot glue. And then I created a little sign at the top, and I'll just move the camera because here we go. And it's stamped onto a ticket that I have for making memories, and I distressed the edges with my Tim Holtz Distress doohickey, this tool. And it says, "Our everyday magic makes every day magical." And then it's got the star at the top, and there's a star with a trail at the bottom. And then I edged it with the brushed corduroy ink. And I think it looks really great. It's held here with one of those Tim Holtz pins that holds like the sentiments. And then I kind of played with the cardboard a little bit so that it would look more vintage, because I like that brown looking kind of distress. What else? So down at the bottom of the jar, and I'm going to try and adjust this a little bit better, so hopefully I don't make anybody dizzy. Down here at the bottom of the jar, I used that trim, as I said, and you can see here's the lid of the mason jar. I didn't even paint it because it's a gold lid, and it kind of, you don't see it anyway, and it's a good color if you're going to see it peeking through. So here's that trim, and then underneath it I have that lace just to cover up the lip of the jar itself where it joins the jar. So I have my piece of lace and then this pleated trim that's got polka dots on it in a gold color around the bottom. So it goes all the way around. And then I have another butterfly here. Let's see. That is again stamped out. Ooh, that's really focused well. Here's the little butterfly. It's the smaller of the 3 that are on the punch. And then I use this metal flower here with the it comes with a brad center, and the flower is adhered to the jar with one of those glue dots, and then the butterfly is glued to the little pearl center with another glue dot. So that's what's keeping it in there. So we can go around the bottom. It's decorated all the way around, and then the back is pretty. Here's the logo on the mason jar. It's upside down, obviously, because the jar is upside down. But this is the back of the tree anyway, so you don't see very much. And as you can see, I did decorate all the way around the back. There's the back of the ticket, just so that you can see some of the detail of the little cones in there. And then here's some leaves, like a fern leaf and some moss. Excuse me. Some more detail on the top. And then again, going around the lip of the jar, or the bottom of the jar, really. Excuse me. And there's that butterfly again. And so, this is my project that, or my entry for the giveaway. And Jen, I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Let me get you a final shot.